Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I said this on numerous occasions, and that is the US president, whomever he or she might be, they are dead people walking. And not because they, one day will die, because that's the way God had us function, God's reality or nature's reality, however you want to look at it. It's because they are protected or not protected or possibly could be harmed by the people around them who are not directly under their control. And that is, for instance, Secret Service, people with guns and intelligence like FBI, like CIA. Not really the military. The military is too obvious, but they have their own departments within the military where they have, intelligence services like kind of like a CIA, FBI intelligence, military intelligence, like the Soviets used to have a GRU. They are over there, and they're doing the same thing as, let's say, CIA does. All right, so what's going on here? Trump upset or got some people upset in the FBI. He did it before, and now he's again, and it seems like this, how do you call them, career individuals. Remember, an agent, an FBI or CIA agent, he is an employee that does certain things that he's ordered by a higher echelon. I think that the higher echelon in the United States of America, in the FBI, the intelligence community, is very much political. And that is not good. Including the fact, I think, again, that they are an entity within an entity, an independent entity. If you don't believe me, or you have many doubts, and I hope you do have doubts, go and watch a few, how do you call that, investigations or some testimonies done by FBI agents. I'm not talking about file and rank and file, the run in the territory. No, not those ones. They don't have much power. They receive orders. They're machines. It's exactly like a police officer who stops you. He's a machine. He's got a set of rules, and that he has to do it. He has some discretion, very small window of discretion. Well, these agents, they have their own order. That's a hierarchical institution, FBI, CIA, and all this. So I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about the guys who give the orders or could give the orders. So go and watch this kind of testimonies in front of the senatorial commission or in the House of Representatives. And you're going to see how these guys, higher ranked FBI, CIA, directors, whatever they are, they can afford telling the elected officials kind of like, it's none of your business. I'm not going to disclose this information to you. And the reasons could be, the investigation is still ongoing, confidential, will put in danger our brave men and women out there in the territory, which, to a certain extent, there are valid arguments. But my point is, you can't make them. You really can't make them. Just drag their feet until something changes, and then what do? They go along with what they, as I said, they are an entity within an entity. Even though they have to answer to the president, they have to answer to Congress, not really. So what did Trump do here? Let me show you. Reuters, Trump's Justice Department launches sweeping cuts targeting January 6 prosecutors, FBI agents. All right. So President Donald Trump administration launched a sweeping round of cuts at the Justice Department on Friday that appeared, I like when he says appeared to focus on FBI agents and others who worked on cases related to the January 6, 2021 attack by his supporters on the US Capitol. All right, so this is what they tried to say, that, hey, Trump is going after the guys who went after his boys. Very possible. And I would do the same thing. Not go after them. I would like to know if the investigations were accurate. Why? Because the penalties, the punishment distributed by the Capitol attack, the commission in January 6th, I think it was BS. Some people got 22 years of prison time for sedition, sex. All right, like the guy from the Proud Boys, for instance, or the guys from the Oath Keepers, and other, which are bad people, we have to say it, okay? And not only. So I think it's great that you go and do checks and balances, right? Now go and check if these guys did it. The problem is, he's not having a problem with the agents per se. Because the agent who went over there and investigated something and interviewed the suspects, they went over there and they did their job. It is true that there are some rogue people in each and every position. You can find them. Doesn't matter if it's left or right or up and down. They are there. And they know what they need to do and how they need to turn things around. I mean, I have to speak a little bit vague here because I have an idea of what the outcome of a certain investigation the bosses want to be. That is, they don't tell you, hey, you know what? You're going to go and investigate. We're going to assign this case to Emil. He's a seasoned investigator. And Emil, when you go over there, Myron, when you go over there, make sure that we need to find this guy guilty and make sure you use your skills that you were trained to ask the right questions and ignore the other right questions in order to find the truth. An investigator will go over there and will ask the right questions, will ignore the other right questions, and then after that he's going to conclude his investigation, give it to someone, that someone, which is a supervisor, will see what's going on, a commission, and then sent further to the guys who are going to read it the way they want to read it. So they say, well, I don't think I was over there. Okay, and the guy interprets it, oh, he was over there. So you see, it's just like semantics. And then you have the commission who interprets whatever is given to them. Do you think that those guys over there, the guys in charge, Liz Cheney and the other baboon, a Republican, can't remember his name, Kinziger, something like this, Kinziger, he's not a House of Representative anymore. Do you think they read the reports? No, the report was put in front of them by someone else, some other people who put it together. Now that's what Trump wants to see. How in the hell you got from this action to this penalty? Remember, in the US at least, the crime and the punishment should be proportionate. You don't steal an egg and they cut off your arm. Right? That's in other areas, which, in certain situations, you need to, I'm not going to go further than that. But anyway, Trump is doing that. What do you think these agents will do? What do you think these guys within these agencies, DOJ, for instance, FBI, will do? They will defend their organizations. That's what they do. Trump also went after the union for federal workers union, where he just said that he's going to review all those deals. And I'm going to show you here. Here, Trump goes to maybe cancel recent union agreements with federal workers. Who are the federal workers? Well, FBI agents are federal workers. People in the Department of Justice are federal workers. So, Donald Trump said on Friday that any collective bargaining agreements reached with federal workers within 30 days of his inauguration will not be approved. The latest salvo in the U.S. president's bid to remake the federal workforce. Well, if he remakes it in an objective way, I'm okay with that. If he's going to bring his guys, we just go from left to right, that's going to be bad. In a memo addressed to the heads of all executive departments and agencies, Trump said former U.S. President Joe Biden's administration purposely finalized collective bargaining agreements with federal employees in its final days in an effort to harm my administration by extending its wasteful and failing policy beyond its time in office. So that's what he thinks. And remember, FBI are a part of the federal government, if I remember correctly. CIA also is, isn't it? So my point is, Trump goes to war with the guys who really can send him to Jesus. How is this going to end up? Well, we are contemporary with these kind of things, so just stay tuned and we're going to find out. I think the people who work in the federal government should do their job. When they get out of the job, they can say and do whatever they want as free people and not be harmed by the fact that they work, obviously if it's legal, but harmed by the fact that they work for the federal government. You have certain limitations, I understand that. But Let's see who's who and what's what. FBI, CIA, NSA are necessary agencies. To what extent? And what kind of dynamics are in those agencies? I hope we find out. You can't get rid of corruption, but you definitely can minimize it. But don't substitute one corruption versus corruption in one direction to corruption in another direction. And since we are all humans, it's going to be hard, but checks and balances. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.